Stalker horror story, Your Shadow. 1. The first meeting. Hannah was an ordinary office worker who worked on the high street in a big city. One day, on her way home from work, she had a strange feeling that someone was watching her at a subway station. But she couldn't check who was watching her at a crowded station. She headed home, thinking maybe she was just tired. Unknown message. A few days later, Hannah returned home from work and found a small note at the door. It read, "I'm watching you." She thought it was a joke and threw it away. But that night, a message arrived from an unfamiliar number. On Hannah's cell phone, "You looked really good in today's red dress." Hannah was surprised because the dress she wore at work that day was a red dress. She tried to call the police, but she thought there was insufficient evidence and decided to ignore it for now. Continuous bullying. As time went by, the situation got worse. The shadow of an unknown person was seen in front of Hannah's house, and her emails and social media accounts piled up with increasingly eerie messages. "I'm always by your side." Hannah was becoming increasingly anxious and couldn't relax. Even inside the house, she asked her friends for help, but nobody could give her definite help. She called the police, but there was not enough clue to catch the criminal. Anxious days. One day, Hannah found the front door half open as soon as she got home from work. She was scared, but she went inside just in case. Everything was where it was, but she heard strange noises in the bedroom. Hannah carefully opened the bedroom door, and there was no one there. However, the clothes she had collected a few days ago were neatly placed on the bed. It was only then that Hannah realized the stalker had entered her house. She immediately called the police, who immediately rushed to investigate the inside of the house. However, there was no sign of the break-in. Finally face to face, Hannah had made up her mind to move. But while preparing to move, Stalker's message continued. On the last night, Hannah checked out the message from Stalker. "By organizing her bags, do you think you can run away if you move?" At that moment, the lights in the house went out, and Hannah was trapped in the dark. She panicked and turned on the flash on her phone, but it didn't work. In a sudden panic, Hannah tried to run to the front door, but a man was standing in front of her. "Where are you going?" The man's face was invisible, hidden in the dark, but his voice was deeply imprinted in Hannah's head. Hannah screamed and ran away to the other room, but the man followed her and pushed her to the wall. Endless fear. Fortunately, at that moment, the police arrived and subdued the man. When Hannah's friend visited her house and no one answered, she nervously called the police. Stalker was eventually arrested, and numerous photos and videos of Hannah were found at his home. Hannah couldn't escape the horror of the day for much longer. She moved to another city and lived her daily life under tight supervision. But every night, I couldn't get rid of the feeling that someone was watching her. Hannah's life could not be the same anymore. She lived in anxiety as if someone's shadow was following her every moment. No matter how far away she ran, it seemed that the shadow would always be by her side. The story shows what deep fear a stalker can instill in one's daily life and mind. Hannah's experience warns that fear from a stalker can lead to mental trauma, not just physical threats.